where our heartstrings hang. From the bowling's roar to the London Stadium, West Ham United forging a new soul. Hammers Football TV, the fans' voices ring true. Every tackle, every goal, we're watching you. West Ham are massive, everywhere we go. A fan base so deep, through the highs and the lows. The promise we keep, Hammers forever, our spirit so bold. A story of passion and stories untold. West Ham are massive, a chant from our soul.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Hammers Football TV. Hope everyone's enjoying their Easter break so far. Very short one. Just going to talk about the game from yesterday. As you know, it wasn't much to write home about, that's for sure. 94 minutes, 95 minutes of extra time, and then basically 94 minutes, and lo and behold, West Ham being West Ham can't hold on to a lead, and you've seen basically Mr. Potter himself turn around and saying this about us as well. Couldn't hold on to anything, and from there, not good at all. Not good. Let me just put that one up instead for a change. Just going to say hello to people in the chat as always. Pepsi, good afternoon to yourself. Leslie scored against you lot. Happy Easter. Happy Easter to you as well, mate, and that. 3-0 to the Arsenal. Yeah, I knew it would be an easy win for you guys against them. And obviously, you definitely stopped Liverpool from winning it this afternoon. So, fair play to you lot as well. Aces, good afternoon, mate. Poorly gunner management, tactics, supporters against him. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a strange one. I mean, Potter's kind of basically saying about, obviously, lambasting the players a little bit, but I think he's also got to look at himself. But we'll talk about that shortly. Good afternoon, words and pictures. I hope you're keeping well. Good to see you. West Ham are massively shit. And you're not wrong in that, mate. That's for sure. It's not very good at the moment. Not good at all. Michael Chelsea, good afternoon, mate. Big up, Tom, mate. Hope you're well. Early stream, I have a new account on Twitter now. Good, yes, because of course they did block you, good self, didn't they, as well? Good afternoon, Frog. Afternoon, Ammers. Afternoon, matey. Mama Flossie, good afternoon to yourself. Sad commiserations for Newcastle as well yesterday. Wasn't the result I was expecting, I must admit, but hope you're keeping well. And she's also saying hello to the chat, and they're saying hello to each other as well. When you look at it, what's his name there? Going to try and muller his name out. Aqua Pokachenko, what his name is, who got the equaliser, and rightly so. I mean, Southampton, they definitely deserved something out of it. The way they played, the way they were set up, they had more shots on target than us. I think they had something like 17 shots compared to our 12. So that doesn't write home straight away. For Potter, though, he's blasting the players. He's saying it's the ability to control a game. But not being funny, when you make some of the weird changes like he did, especially near the end, you could tell straight away that he's hanging out for to hold on to the draw, the 3 points, and hopefully that'll do the job. But we know full well, we've seen it this season, our players are not capable of doing that, and it proved that. I mean, and it was a well set up goal from them, and a well taken goal, shall I say. Good afternoon, Daz. Good to see you as well. Tony, everyone in the chat, and good old friend Lee. Good afternoon, Lee. Hope you're keeping well. Hope you have a good Easter. Mum and Dad are doing well as well. Frog saying, I'd call this a circus, but you at least get a laugh out of one of those. Fucking fuming. And let's go on to that now. I mean, Nicholas Fullkrug. Now, this is an interesting one. I don't think anyone expected this, but I'm all for it. I like that. It's a player that shows he has a bit of passion. He actually, he wants to do well. And he wasn't afraid to say it. And he wasn't afraid to say it. he said he's absolutely angry, and rightly so. I mean, I'm just looking at some of the commentators, Jay Boothroyd and Jamie O'Hara, both saying he can't be saying that. He didn't get enough. He's not been playing well long enough. He's been injured for such a long time. Who gives a damn how long he's been playing for, he's been injured for, etc.? The man shows that he cares. It hurts him. It hurts him to see that, and he's been honest about it. And how many times we see players talk like that and actually put their opinion out there to let people know that, yeah, I'm not one of those. I'm actually it does kind of hurt me here. I want to do well. We get a 1-0 lead. Can we hold on to that? No, we've proved we've not been able to do that. We've done it many times before. And fair play to him for saying that. I actually kind of applaud him for saying it, really. I mean, look, Jamie O'Hara saying, that's poor from him. When I heard him say that, I thought, is Salah playing for them? Get real. We're talking about Jamie O'Hara here, and he's saying stuff like that. Get a life, mate, They're saying hello to each other in the chat. Give us your opinions of what you think, how you feel about this. Aces are saying James was absolutely fuming with Potter tactics, and rightly so, Aces. I mean, you've seen your manager do it many, many a time. But for me, when we're making changes, we're 1-0 up, and you're kind of straight away, you're implying I'm going defensive now, and we still had like 20 minutes to go still, and you're still trying to actually get something out of this. Nah, if anything else than that, the first half was shocking. Let's not beat around the bushes. It was a shocking first half. We were poor. Southampton, they should have been 2-0 up at half time. Easily should have been 2-0 up. And I think it's only the fact of Areola's kind of denied them a couple of times. But when you think about the second half, we came out early. We got the goal, and Bowen will link up play, good taken, deserved goal. But then we should go in for the second one. I'm not saying we're going to go for the third one, but definitely go for the second one, because that way then you put them to bed. But when you look at what we did then, as soon as we got that goal, it kind of raised questions straight away. And this is where Fullkrug, I think, kind of pointed at. I think he's not blaming Potter for it, even though I know there's been a lot of West Ham channels and obviously a lot of the fans saying about Potter. But when you got Fullkrug saying that the players that he works with, the players he kicks a ball around with, they can't hold on they go for the long ball, hoof the ball down the pitch. When he knows full well there's quality there. We've got quality in this team, and we're not showing it. And he was vocal about it. Good. Why not? Why not? I mean, people in the chat, let me know what you think about Fullkrug's comments. It'd be interesting to hear your views on this. Let me just catch up with the people in the chat as well. Wolves are 1-0 up already. Oh, bloody hell. Words and pictures saying we've had one of the worst defensive records since the end of Moyes. Potter deciding to rely on our defence is madness. Reveals he doesn't understand the basics of football. I get that, words and pictures. But you've got to question, is it the case of, is it what he's got to work with? It could be that, but at the same point, yeah. I mean, like I said, the tactics that he did in near the end of the changes just didn't make sense. Didn't need to. I can understand maybe bringing on Mavropanos, because when you think about it, Kilman went a bit of a madness and did some too silly challenges, and in certain respects, lucky enough to still be on the pitch at that stage. He should have, when you look at it was the first one, and when he came racing in, how he didn't get, they wasn't dealt with harsher. But then fair play to the referee, it was his first game, and he tried to keep the game going. So fair play in that respect. But at the same point, could make them change like he did, go with Mavropanos and then kind of hook off Emerson. I mean, take off Fullkrug in itself. Could that be a reason why he's having a bit of a moan up? Possibly. But that didn't justify Fullkrug coming off, because actually he was trying to do something. I mean, I know we've seen a few people saying about obviously Bowen and Kirk. I mean, obviously fair play. Bowen had got the goal. But let's be real. Between the two of them, they were pretty poor. It weren't great from both of them. Daz says, I'm not feeling it with Potter. I think I don't know. Is it early days? I know. I think I said it on James' channel when I came on briefly yesterday. When you think about it, it wasn't the fact of with Lopetegui, the points that we did get from him has really kept us above that bottom three. Otherwise, if you're not careful, I think we'd be looking at us in the bottom three and Wolves just above us, because I think that's the way it would have gone otherwise. I was saying Fuzzy Murray will be fuming. Yeah, I think we'll find that out later when it carries on like this. Frog saying, well, nearly 4 months and he hasn't worked out how to outfox the worst team in Premier League history. Most of the players don't give a flying fuck. And I make you right in that, Frog. You could see that it's quite clear and evident. And I think that's what Fullkrug made light of, is the fact of these players, basically don't like it, don't like what they're doing. And is it because of, they're defying what the manager's saying? Because Potter's kind of alluding to that he sets out a tactics and they go and do something completely different. So, I make it right. It's not a bad shot, actually. I mean, look, the problem is when you're playing someone like Southampton that are basically relegated already and they haven't got to worry about anything else, they can just turn up and do whatever they want, because they know at the end of the day if they're not going to be in the Premier League next season, and they will make it hard work for any team, and it just then, for a Southampton fan's point of view, you've then got a question, well, hold on, if we can do that now, why aren't we doing it throughout the whole season? So it works that way as well. Words and pictures saying, Fullkrug was brilliant in that interview. Great to hear a player having some balls and saying it's true. And I'm all with that. I don't mind that at all, especially when it's in the right directions. It's not kind of digging anyone out. It's what he felt. It's what he got off his chest. And rightly so. Why shouldn't he? At the end of the day, if he's angry about things, then why not be vocal? They're human beings at the end of the day in certain respects. Good afternoon, Charles. Hope you're well, mate, as well. Bowen should be saying what Fullkrug did, and this is another thing you can say, and it goes back to that question again: is Bowen right to be captain? My opinion, when it first was given to him, and he's not the right choice for it. I don't think, if anything else than that, he is literally. It took the shine off what he was doing. That's what I've alluded to when he was first given the captaincy. But the England game set a different tone. He got that goal, and we saw a little bit of difference. But let's be honest, West Ham fans, if you've been watching the last 5 to 6 games, Bowen has not exactly been great. He's trying to do too much with the ball. If anything, especially yesterday, and it's been quite obvious he's been doing that in a few games. The amount of times he'd lost the ball or he was too slow and not looking around him and getting the ball nicks off him too easy. That should be happening, especially as a captain, because you're supposed to be leading from the front. Words and pictures saying, I agree, the players are at fault, but that's because they don't have the ability to defend out a game. So I asked them to. This is true. But these are pro players. You know what you're supposed to do. It's been coached into you at an early age. So you've got to be defensive. But when you're making silly mistakes, then you've got to question, is that the manager's fault? Or is it the player? And I suppose you've got to be honest in certain respects and say it is the players. The players obviously are the ones who are on the pitch. the manager can only say what he can in the changing room and try and get his message across from the touchline. Other than that, it's the players out in the field that are doing all the work. They're the ones that's got to basically get this game through, and they're only going to listen to input from the manager when he feels that certain players are not doing certain things. But you're right. Defensively, we should be defending better. We know full well Kilman works better when he's got Todibo with him. But there was a couple of mad rushes of blood yesterday when he put some silly challenges in. But our midfield, you've got to question them as well. They've got to be a bit more defensive minded as well, because they're the engines of the sort of the team. Trosh saying it's the players. Moyes, J-Lo, and Potter was the same. Yeah, and I think I make you right. I mean, look, we know, and I suppose it's probably a mindset thing. We've seen it a few times, not with just our team. We've seen it with other teams. When you know you're safe, you're not going to get any higher. You're not going to be winning any kind of cups or any league positions. So you just go through the motions, and that's upsetting because for the fans that turn up and pay their money to sit down on them seats, to pay the money behind the bars, put money into the tills and stuff, and that's the attitude of the players. That's what it's wrong. Agree, Trosh. I don't think Bowen is a captain. He's saying there. They sound like a Lee as well. Sure, nice. Chelsea 1-1 now. I saying Budgie won't have been happy with the performance yesterday. No, I mean it's. I think unfortunately it's what we're kind of expecting at the moment. Trosh is saying not even watching other games anymore. Prem too boring, and I make you right, Trosh. I think we've talked about this a few times. This is why when you look at the table. I mean, let's have a quick look at the table. Where are we at the moment with that? Because that in itself, bear with me. Tables. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, we were on 36 points just going from our position, because obviously you ain't got to worry about Ipswich catching up. And then you've got Spurs on 37, Wolves on 38, Man U on 38, Everton on 38, and then you jump to 44. I mean, 44, what's that, 8 years ago in there, was enough to keep you in the Prem. The fact that the top team is Liverpool is only on 76 and Arsenal are 10 points behind on 66, that just shows you how bad this season is, because no one exactly set in the world. I mean, yes, it looks like Liverpool will win the Premier League, but not with them kind of stats. It doesn't look good, does it, really? George is saying, I'll watch Real Madrid versus Atletico later, though. Yeah, that probably might be a little bit different. And good afternoon to Fuzzy Willis. I'll watch Antics Roadshow later. Might be more interesting, actually, Fuzzy. You never know, mate. Never know. Frog saying, last half of Moyes' season, shit. Lopetegui's stint, shit. Since January with Potter, shit. The squad haven't had the finger pointing at them and are taking the outright piss wearing our shirt. And you're right there. I mean, as I said, it's a fact of they know full well now they're not going down. So we've got only a couple of games left to go. Let's just kick the ball around. We can do something with it. We get a goal, great, no problems at all. If not, we might have to work a little bit harder, but we just do enough. But enough is not enough for any fan. And for us, yeah. I mean, like, looking at Moyes, that one, he set up a thing. Obviously, we got the Europa Conference out of it. We knew he was going to go. Lopetegui, as I said, maybe we've got to kind of thank him in certain respects. And I'll do that with gritted teeth. I'll tell you that now. Is the fact of the points that he got before he left is what's kept us just above that relegation spot. Because not being funny, when we think about it, we was languished at one point in 15th, and now we dropped down 2 places. It's not good at all. And the question is now, where did this put us in for the summer? Are we going to improve on this? Are we be able to sell players? I don't know. I really don't. And it is worrying. It is worrying in that respect, because we know full well with Lopetegui and with Steiden, we did overspend on with the players we brought in. Some are not what we needed in the first place, but we've had to deal with them. We've had to play with them, and I suppose that's what Potter's got to do. He's got to stick with what we've got, and it's bad. So we'll see what happens for next, for the summer window. Can we sell anyone? I mean, the only kind of shining light from it, Paqueta looks fairly decent, but if the rumour's true, if he kind of gets cleared on this betting charge, then more than likely we might see City coming in for him, and that'll probably be the end. That'll be the last we see of Paqueta. Good afternoon, Ray. Hope you're keeping well. Good afternoon, all. Frogs and Trod, I've enjoyed the Villa game the other night. It was nice to see a team in claret showing some grit. Yeah, shame it just wasn't ours. Pepsi saying 4-0 now. So he's doing well. Ace saying Billboard, we be united in semi-finals of Europa League. Yeah, Greek Frog is all shit. Josh, knockout is still entertaining, even though they try to fiddle that also with seed and yeah, well, we know that's another story altogether. So the tables have turned there. So looking at that, Forest have dropped down to 6 now. The bubbles burst. But no, like I said, it's very short and sweet. I mean, I weren't expecting anything from the game. I thought was anything else. When you're playing someone like Southampton, it's always going to be hard work because they're going to come at you. They're going to, they're going to press and press and press. And unfortunately, in the position that we are, we did our best not to keep hold of a lead, which is the usual story this season. So all I'll say is this: enjoy the rest of your Easter. I'm going to drop off now. I will be back on at 8 o'clock for the Sunday night takeaway show. So if you're around, please come and join us. I'm just going to get some people coming on as well, and we'll talk about obviously the weekend of football. We'll probably cover this topic again, see what the panelists' thoughts are there on actually a player actually speaking his mind. Frog in the wheel, Bet Fuzzy has started believing in him upstairs. He's been crying into his chocolate milk, that's for sure. I'll tell you that now. Yes, and I think you're right what you're saying there, Josh. The crowd did turn because obviously the boos when the final whistle came in, that was clear and obvious what everyone's opinion was about that. And of course, we saw quite a few of the West Ham channels going into meltdown and overdrive, all because at the end of the day, this is a game on paper we should have won and won comfortably. But unfortunately, we know the mess we're in at the moment. Is there any light of coming out of it? I don't know. And even then, are we going to come out of it during this the summer window, the pre-season? I don't think so. I think it's going to be maybe another 2 years, if anything. And the thing is, considering this contract Potter's supposed to be on, does that give Sullivan the right to turn and say, well, I can rip this up now? You didn't do what I asked of you. We know what this chairman's like. But people in the chat, thanks for hanging around with us. Now, I really do appreciate you coming in and that. And hopefully I'll see you again soon for tonight. And all I'll say is this: enjoy the rest of your break. Enjoy it. And we bought rice for half a price. Pepsi, that's another story. And I've said this before. But again, thanks very much. And all I'll say for the West Ham faithful, come in your irons. Let's try and stick together. Let's hopefully get ourselves through this. And for everyone else that's come in as other supporters, appreciate it as always. Mama, see you soon. Take care, everyone. And look after yourselves. Take care for now.